Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
I think everyone is so happy to see each other that it's like a little party out there.
I know. Woohoo.
Well, Shabbat Shalom. It is really nice to be together on this beautiful evening. We were debating today on if this is our last Shabbat outside or not. We don't know what's going to happen with the sunset and with high holy days if we can manage it. So it could very well be our last Shabbat outside. So we will certainly enjoy this. And so let's really enjoy it. Let's take a deep breath in. And release. And with this next deep breath in, think about all of the things that weighed you down, that were anxiety provoking or difficult. Take a deep breath in. And as you release, let them go. And with this last breath, breathe in the sweetness, the beauty, the rest that is Shabbat. We join together in opening song. Our opening song is Shiru Ladonai. You can find it on page 13.
Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
We turn now to lighting our Shabbat candles on page 3. If you'd like to light Shabbat candles on your own, you can go here to the back of our open space sanctuary on page 3. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offering of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue with Kiddush. The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God stopped on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on that day God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר לציון מצרים, כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
Our opening reading is found on page 9. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. Turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu. We stand in body or in spirit.
Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed.
We read together, page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 34 and 35, the Shema, the watchword of our faith.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot together, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. On page 40, Mi Chamocha is our song of freedom, the song that recognizes the Israelites have crossed the Red Sea and that they are on the other side, they are free, but that they are not yet recognizing their freedom because it took 40 years for them to get actually to the promised land. We sing together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי.
Page 43. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukkot shalom aleinu va'al kol amo Yisrael va'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Hashkivenu, the one that we'll sing, is found on the facing page on page 42 and continues to ask God for protection for Sukkot Shalom.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night as we dig with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Page 44. Abraham Joshua Heschel taught us about the sanctity of time in Judaism. And so Vishamru, for me, is a reminder of how beautiful Judaism is, because we give thanks for time. We don't give thanks for stuff. We don't give thanks for anything except the sanctity of time. And Shabbat is the greatest gift. So we sing and we give thanks with Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat b'dorotam brit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam brit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, ki sheshet yamin asa Adonai, asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam brit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat.
Deb, I'm not sure while you're singing if you can hear them.
I can hear them, and it's lovely.
They sound great.
Yes, they do.
You sound really beautiful tonight. Thank you.
That was one of the biggest things I missed during the pandemic when we were all online, was singing together.
We turn to page 46 for the tefillah. We will center ourselves with this first line, which we think of as a prayer. It's really a little bit of a meditation or a mantra, kind of centering ourselves back in to the service, recognizing that no matter how great our prayer is, we all wander a little bit and we got to get back into it. And then we will chant Avot V'Imahot, which recognizes that we stand on the shoulders of our forefathers and foremothers, and Givurot is God's greatness, and then our last prayer sanctifies the beauty of this day. We'll chant straight through. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Ge'ula Livnei V'Nehem Le'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Choser U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech meimid umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. The next reading is not found in your Siddur, in your prayer book. For the blessing of friendship and love, of family and community, for the blessings we ask of you and those we cannot ask, for the blessings we recognize and those we fail to recognize, for the blessings you bestow upon us in the open and those you give in secret, we are grateful to you. For all these blessings, eternal God of the universe, we thank you and are grateful to you. For the blessings of our traditions, for the blessings of our creativity, for the blessings of return and forgiveness, for the blessing of memory and of hope. For all these blessings, eternal God of the universe, we thank you and are grateful to you. On page 60, Shalom Rav, the blessing, a prayer for hope, for abundant hope.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדום. לכל השלום, שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. בטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
We turn now to our prayer for healing. There are many in our temple family, many near and far, many whom we love who are in need of healing, whether it be a healing of body, a healing of spirit, prayer for healing from mental illness, a prayer for healing from life's struggles. We lift them up in our prayers and we pray for them some measure of comfort from our reaching out in love and prayer for them. As my hand passes over the congregation this evening, I hope you'll share loved ones' names, just as if you are at home this evening, you'll share their names in the chat. We join all of those names shared aloud with all of the names in our hearts, and we sing together. If you need the words, middle of page 253.
מי שברך אבותינו, מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. מי שברך אמותינו, מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We take a few moments now for silent prayer and reflection.
Yiul ratzon imre fi. Yiul ratzon imre fi. V'hagyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri v'goali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimroma. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imeru, ve'imeru. Amen.
I know many of you have heard me teach this before. We are so much better at oi than joy. We prefer kvetching over kvelling. It is true. And here's something I learned recently. There's actually a reason for this. We are actually not built to be happy all the time. Evolutionary psychology teaches that the human brain has a negativity bias. The theory is that our brains evolved this way in order to protect us. Early humans had a lot more to gain from focusing on what might harm them than what was pleasant. The human brain, therefore, is not designed to be generally happy all the time. Yet, at the same time, we seem to also be wired to seek happiness. In simple terms, very simple terms, evolutionary psychology teaches that seeking happiness is motivating. It pushes us to move forward, to seek what we need and what we want. What's changed over time is the idea that we should be happy nearly all the time. This is a modern construct. In a clear and concise comment, best-selling author Mark Manson writes, "We like the idea that there is some form of ultimate happiness that can be attained. We like the idea that we can alleviate all of our suffering permanently. We like the idea that we can feel fulfilled and satisfied with our lives forever. But we cannot. If we can't achieve ultimate happiness, what then can we realize?" In this week's Torah portion, Kitavo, the Israelites are given instructions for what seems a peculiar ritual. They are to bring to God the first fruits of their harvest, the very first grains of the fall harvest. And they are to recite these verses from Deuteronomy chapter 26. "My father was a fugitive Aramean. He went down to Egypt with meager numbers and sojourned there. But there he became a great and very populous nation. The Egyptians dealt harshly with us and oppressed us. They imposed heavy labor upon us. We cried to the Eternal, the God of our ancestors. And the Eternal heard our plea and saw our plight, our misery, and our oppression. The Eternal freed us from Egypt by a mighty hand, by an outstretched arm, and awesome power, by signs and portents, bringing us to this place and giving us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And then, therefore, I now bring the first fruits of this soil, which you, God, have given me. I don't usually read this much text during a sermon, so there must be a reason. This is the part where you participate. Anybody, does that sound familiar to anybody? You're all looking at me like, what? Does that sound at all? My father was a wandering Aramean. That might be the clue. Susan Murther is like, I kind of, but where is it from? Sound at all familiar? We read this in the Passover Seder. Oh, this recitation is a highlight reel of the Israelite narrative. We were once wealthy, we came to Egypt, we became a poor nation, enslaved and oppressed. But then God took note of us. And through some pretty cool miracles, we were freed from slavery. Fleeing Egypt, we were brought to this land, which is rich and fertile. So we recite this, and we bring God the first fruits of whatever harvest. So in Cleveland, it would probably be apples, right? Because all I see on my social media is apples, right? The first harvest, right? In combination, this first harvest in combination with the recitation of this quick history lesson is a really important reminder. It's a reminder to the Israelites where they've come from, where they are now, and with a harvest, the potential for the future. This is a ritual of gratitude. So if we cannot attain ultimate happiness, we can attain gratitude. The verses are read to remind us to be grateful for our history, what we have today. They are a reminder of who we are and how far we have come together. Friends, we can't be happy all the time. We can, however, seek moments of gratitude as learned from our past, connected to our present, and what can be in the future. This is one of the beautiful lessons of this Torah portion, and so poignant as we approach the High Holy Days. What a beautiful, beautiful lesson. Shabbat Shalom.
We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Lador vador nagid God lecha. Lador vador, we protect this chain. From generation to generation, Lador vador, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our heart, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed and and we are holy. We are children of your way, and the words that bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. Lador vador nagid God lecha. Lador vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Lador vador, these lips will praise your name. Lador vador nagid God lecha. Lador vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Lador vador, these lips will praise your name.
We turn now to Aleinu. Please rise in body or in spirit, page 283. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God. There is none else.
V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, ushemo echad.
We turn now to our time of remembering. Our memorial meditation is found on page 291, the first two paragraphs. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete. When those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. On this Shabbat, we remember those taken most recently from our temple family in Shloshim in the first month since their passing. Renate Miller, Eugenia Weinberg. And we remember the yahrzeits whose anniversaries fall on this Shabbat. Morris Abrams, Myron C. Auerbach, Harry C. Byrne, Helen Einstein Bing, Wilma Lederer Cohn, Florence S. Garson, Arlene E. Gladstone, Betty J. Glazer, Minnie Haber, Doris Harris, Robert M. Hollander, Bernard Katz, Abraham Lerner, Jean Levine, Ruth Hallie Lustig, Samuel Marks, Raymond Mendelson, Cecily E. Pearson, Susan L. Power, Earl B. Rose, Sylvia Simon, Arthur H. Skull, Bernard J. Starkoff, Jean K. Stewart, Arthur Leslie Stoddard, Mabel Wodicka, Sally Esther Zeisler. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled, and we turn to page 294 for the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah Bialma divra hirute v'amlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye techol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah muvarach leolam almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh V'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei dekudasha barechu le'elal minkol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran bialma v'imru amen yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael V'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, amen. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to ask Shelley Nair to offer some words of announcements and greetings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hold it. Thanks. I want to thank Rabbi Van and Deb for such a lovely and meaningful service, for all of you who are here and on Zoom for participating and forming our own choir. Also, we want to express gratitude for our dedicated STKA staff and leadership, and a special mention tonight to our many members who have volunteered to help us prepare for the High Holy Days. It takes a village. Please join us for Slichot tomorrow evening to eat, pray, learn at Rabbi Shana Nair's home. Email Rabbi Shana to attend. Deadlines are always flexible. We have so many activities going on for this year's High Holy Days. A trip to a fruit farm, kids services, a return to Green Lake for Tashlich, a luncheon, and we are so very excited to see and celebrate with all of you. Please check Temple Times and the information you received in the mail to determine how best to RSVP to all the events. The deadline for listing a loved one's name in the Book of Remembrance was today. However, I know at least one person in the office. Please let Charlotte or Brett know by Monday afternoon, and I think that's pretty much a firm deadline, of any changes or additions to your listing. We are glad to see all of you. Thank you for joining us. We will continue to comply with CDC guidelines for our masking requirements, as indicated by the sign on our front door. Please check the website or Temple Times for current COVID policies. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shelley Nair may have a permanent job as giving the announcements. Thank you, Shelley. Our closing song is Hashivenu. It is in honor that the High Holy Days they're not even around the corner. They're pretty much upon us. And so we ask God to be with us as we return and prepare for the High Holy Days, page 358.
Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu kekedem Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu inspire and provide us with the wisdom your Torah can show. just as in days long ago. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
Please rise for the benediction.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yis Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us, and may God bring us shalom, peace, and wholeness. Amen. And Motzi.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, b'tei avon.
Shabbat shalom.